people, how are we doing? Good. If you said you're good, good. Not a perfect draft review. No, it isn't, but I am excited. Why is that, Baldy? Why are you excited? It's because it's a machine review. Ding dang do, it's a machine review. Yes, it is. It's not this one here, although that is a form of machine. This is a Guinness Surger. I will be doing a review of that at some point. Just ain't sourced any cans yet. Just ain't sourced them. Obviously, done the Perfect Draft before. Done both the initial review, and that was in the very early days of the Baldy reviews. So, I'd like to say I was looking like a whippersnapper. I wasn't, but it was about a year and a half ago, I think. Something like that. So, obviously, it's not the Perfect Draft. What it is this. There we go. Was that the best side to put it? Yeah, that's alright. There we go. That's what she is. That's what it is. The KRUPS Sub Compact. Now, obviously, when you have a look at this, I'm not talking over a box like that. Let's shift her over to the side for a second. Like a supermarket sweep style shift. Obviously, when you look on BeerWulf, because this is BeerWulf that you get this from rather than Beerhawk, when you look on there, you've got the choice of this, which is around about the £100, £120 mark, or you've got the choice of the blade, which is a bit of another extreme, and you're looking at, I don't know, $5.20, $5.50. You're looking at a fair amount of dollarage. Now, I was tempted with the blade. I really was. I thought it would go down a dream. And probably in my second pub build, I'm not doing that yet, but if I ever did do a second pub build, then I would put a blade in there. But I just haven't got room. I haven't got room. And what I'm hoping is that this is the perfect partner for the Perfect Draft. Obviously competitors in the sense of the draft home beer market. But the way I see it is, I've got the Perfect Draft there, 6 litre kegs, so you're looking at 10.5 pints in those. It can take a little while to get through those. This little beauty, 4 pints. That's all it is. But what I'm thinking is, it opens up that next selection of beers and a cheeky little cider, because Strongbow Dark Fruits is on it. Ding dang do. I do like a Strongbow Dark Fruits. So that's exciting. That's good news. And I just think, with the space I've got in here, torps that you get in here, so it's not the kegs, it's like torp things. I just thought this would be a good companion in the home bar with the Perfect Draft. Also, it had a gem of an offer. I think it was for the football. I think it was for the Euros. But basically, it was a party pack. So you got 8 torps, I think it was 8 torps, and obviously your machine. Now that cost, I think it was £150. So not bad. I mean, you're paying around about 70 quid for the machine when you take into consideration the torps cost. So that seemed like a bargain. I thought I'm going to grab it. I did grab it. It was called a party pack. I'll put a link, if it is still live, I'll put a link below in the description. If not, I'll just put a link to the machine anyway. So I'm going to crack into it. As always with the Baldy reviews, when I'm doing a new bit of kit, not going to do a full unboxing. I'm just going to get it out, the machine, get the machine out of the box. I'll cut all that bit out of the video and I'll just whack it in front of me, show you what you get in the box, set it up. We'll do a pour, hopefully, and we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. I'll let you know what I think. So I'm going to crack into the box. Let's see what it looks like. Okay then, party people, we're into the box. We're into the box, we're unloaded, and this is what you've got. You've got your machine. It's all there, hopefully. That's it there. You've got your drip tray, ding dang do. Same as with the Perfect Draft. You've got your handle. Not sure if it's magnetic, don't know. Little ball point thing there, little ball bearing. We'll pop that in a minute. And you've got the old faithful instruction manual, which is handily in French, English, German, Dutch, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian, and EL. EL language. L. Don't know. Anyway, that's your instruction manual. Right, we're not going to read that because, look, if we can work out the Perfect Draft, people, I'm sure we can work out this. Shouldn't be hard. Pick a card, any card. Right, so there's the comparison of handlage to the Perfect Draft. Virtually the same. Interesting. Right. I don't know what else there is to say, really. I mean, there's this stand bit here. Looks like there's a little LED on the front. KRUPS. They do come in various different colours. So there are flashier colours than this. I didn't want to be flashy. I wanted to stay black. Classic black. Because I always think when you go for a colour, it's a little bit like when you paint a wall. You know, you'll do it one colour one day. You'll go, that, I've nailed it with that colour. 3 weeks later, you're thinking, shall I change the colour? Black, you never do that. I don't think, anyway. So anyway, drip tray, handle, instruction manual, machine. Let's get her plugged in. I'm going to plug her in. So there we go. She's plugged in. It's got a red light on. Red light indicates doors are secure. Probably because the door is shut. So that's down. That's down at the moment. That's how I've always intended this. So I've got a double plug behind here. I've got the 3 amigos. This is plugged underneath with the sub cold. This is the station of the big bold bar HQ. So basically Perfect Draft there, Surger there, KRUPS Sub Compact there. There she blows. So what I was thinking is, now the reason I've gone for that kind of setup and not add that beyond box, because I was limited with space just here. That's a little bit of a help yourself bar. You know, so if you have got a few mates round, it's like, Baldy, can I have a drink? Don't ask me, go and help yourself. Simple as that. So, because you can just reach over there. Then they haven't got to be fiddling around, coming round the bar, knocking glasses off shelves, causing all sorts of havoc. You're barred. I liked you. Now you're barred. Yeah, friendship over. Get out. So there we go. Set up. Now, what I'm interested in, I think it's red because obviously there's not a taupe in there at the moment. So I could read the manual and see if that goes to green when the taupe is down to chillage. I'm sure that will be the case. This is what I'm banking on, people. Now, just as I have done a review on the sub cold fridge, because I do feel, and I still do feel, it's a brilliant companion for the Perfect Draft. It's an absolute belter. Because it gets your keg down to your 3 degrees within about, I don't know, 2 hours. That's what I'm finding. And I've got it set to around about 2.5 towards 3. And if you bang it up to 5, it would go even colder. I don't want it to have to work too hard. I'm quite happy with waiting around about 2 hours for my keg to get down to chillage. I can plan that time in. I can plan it. Not a problem. Now, what will be interesting with the KRUPS Sub Compact is how quick those taupes get down to chillage. Because they're plastic, aren't they? They're like, you know, they're not like your keg, your Perfect Draft keg. They're kind of plasticky. So I'll show you what they look like. I've had one chilling in the sub cold now for about 5 hours. Yeah, about 5 hours. I'll pull it out of the sub cold, I'll put it into the sub compact, and hopefully it will get down to chillage pretty quick. Otherwise, I'm going to be taking a long time over this review. I will edit it. You won't have to wait. Let's have a look. Not going to lie, I've had a little look at the instructions. Right, here we go. Here's a torp, torpy porpy. Pelforth, yeah, blonde. So, what we're looking at with this little baby, we are looking at a 5.8%er. Now then, it does say chill until blue, ready to draft. I don't know if that just means blue light on that. So I've had a little look-ski because, you know, I just wanted to know what I was doing, obviously. So there's a little tube in here, little tube that you put into the torp. You open up that little beauty, pull up the tap, pop your tube in, push the tap handle down, pop her back in. Bob's your uncle, the other girl's your aunt, apparently. Let's have a look. So, let's go. It says unlock here. Don't want to waste the torp from being a joker. Right. What's that? I don't know if you're meant to take the whole thing off. There's the cap. There's the tubey thing. So, that seems simple enough. Here's your little tube. Now, obviously, this is what makes, you know, these home beer dispensers good. Because you'll get one of those with every single one. Little bit like how you do for your tap handle for the PerfectDraft. Makes it all clean every time. Clean pipage. And you can't beat a bit of clean pipage. So let's pop this in. I think that's a clicky-dicky-do. So that's in. That's in. Right, now you got to put that into this little baby. Now, I have just had a go at opening this door. It does take a little bit of force, and when something's new, you're kind of like, am I forcing it too much? Is there a button to open the door? There's no button to open the door. It takes a little bit of force. There we go. So that's open. This tap handle, I'm going in action now. This tap handle here, I thought it lifted all up, but it's just the top bit. Very, very easy. No force required whatsoever. So, none, not zero. That little beauty will go in there. Let's have a look. In you go. Sit in there. Like that, little bit of a noise. Poke you through there. Poke that through there. That's easy enough. So far so swift. Pop that back on. Shut the door. Shut the door. We're loaded. We are loaded. Go green or blue. I'm going to wait for that to go the correct colour. Now, I may be in something different, because I may record the second half of this video tomorrow night. It depends how long that takes. I'm going to have a Hogarden Rose while I wait a bit. But it's a school night, people. I can't wait too long. Right then, as you can probably tell, change of clothage. It took overnight. It did. I don't know how long it took. Don't know how long it took, because I was not in here when the light turned green. But as you can see, there she blows. She's green. She is green. Right. So, just by chance would have it, I was looking in a Facebook group. I think it was like gardens, pubs, nightclubs, blah blah, home bars type group. And a lot of people were saying, should I buy one of these KRUPS? So I was interested, because I was in the middle of reviewing it. And it was a 50-50 split. Some people were saying, cracking little machines. Some were saying, perfect companion for the PerfectDraft. Some were saying, what are you doing having 2 litre kegs or torps? So, interesting to see how it goes for myself. One of the things they also said was, it's only a 2 litre torp, and you get a big old frothy head in your first one. So therefore, what's kicking off there? So, be interesting, because this will be my first pour. I'll do a little bit first, just to wet the pipe. Swig that back, and then go for a bit more of a proper pour. I ain't got my mate on. Let me put my mate on. My mate's on. So this is the Pelforth that's in. Don't know why I've got that glass there. That's not what I'm using. Haven't got a Pelforth glass, so I've decided to use a Sanny Mig glass, just simply because I thought that's a good standard type glass to use for a start. Use a Stellar chalice and it goes like wildfire in terms of bugs on the PerfectDraft. So thought that's a little bit forgiving in terms of the kind of carbonation levels. Whereas this, similar, good carbonation levels normally, good bugs. So very standard glass. Also one that you can often pick up in a Home Bargains, in a B&M, or even just your standard Tesco's or Sainsbury's in a Sanny Mig kind of case gift pack type thing. They're very, very common glasses, but pretty good. So, gonna use that. The Pelforth, I mean, I got it in a bundle. Like I say, 5.8%er. It's a blonde, and if you was buying it by itself, $8.99. Now, I'm not aware of any kind of discount situation. Obviously, you don't get a keg return thing on these torps, you know. That was interesting. I saw that some people were reusing torps for cocktails. Hey? Chilled cocktails. The missus might be tempted to come in the bar. So your 2 litres is, what, 3.5, you know, bit more than that pintage. So, so you're looking at around $2.50 a pint, you know, so not much different to your keg on your PerfectDraft. Right, enough of the babble, Baldy. Enough of the babble. Let's do that first little pour. Let's have a sup. Let me do a full pint pour. Let's see what she tastes like. Let's see how this feels. Then I'll give you my opinion on it. Right, so, I mean, for such a small little kind of run through the pipage, that ain't bad. That ain't bad. So let me just whip that back. I'm not going to say anything about it yet. But one thing I did note with this in the instructions, because I did give them a glance, was that it chills it to 2 degrees. Right. Let's go for the full pour, peeps. My first ever pour on the sub. You see, there's something else. Leave the tap down. Leave it down. Right, so that was pure amateur first time pouring, and I don't think that's bad. If people are getting half a pint of foam, they really are doing something wrong there. So I don't see that as any kind of wastage. It's looking alright. It's looking alright. Is it alright though? Let's go. Right, there's a few drips. Not going to waste it. More drippage than a PerfectDraft, definitely. Let's just pop that up. There's just one just hanging there. It's just hanging a little. There she goes. There she blows. Right. Here we go. So let's have a look. I'll bring her in, people. I'll bring her in. Right. So as you can see, some good carbonation in there. Can't moan at that. Don't think you can moan at that one bit. Not moaning at the head. Nice white head. Had worse in pubs than that. And I might give her a little bit of a top up. But that looks alright, doesn't it? That looks alright. So I didn't top her up. I haven't yet had a sup. only that first little taster. But first impressions are definitely that it keeps the same kind of head as the PerfectDraft. Not going to moan there. Carbonation looks very similar as well. No complaints. I mean, this is a blonde, so immediately springing to mind is the old fave on the PerfectDraft. Well, not the fave, but definitely a popular keg, which is the left blonde. And, you know, that is a hell of a drink. So if you like the left twang and stuff, in fact, if you like left beers, the PerfectDraft, you just can't go wrong because it's got such a good range of them. You've got to go for it. But the range of beers on this Sub Compact, I'm also impressed with. And before I dip into that, in terms of the machine, the feel of it also feels good. You know, it feels solid. It's not a cheap feeling machine. You know, yes, it's plasticky. It's not quite up to the standard of the PerfectDraft, and I've got one of the older model PerfectDrafts. The handle, pretty much comparable. The pull feel, I quite like how you can leave the tap down. Quite like that. It's probably a little bit slower on the old flow rate, so that's probably why I like that on there. Can't say it's ever bothered me on the PerfectDraft, but bit more chromage on the PerfectDraft, fair play. Haven't seen any kind of skins or anything like that for the Sub Compact, although you can get them in a smorgasbord of colours, so that might be why. Anyway, you probably can as well, someone will probably correct me. Anyway, what's the beer taste like? That's the killer, that's what it's all about. Cheers, people. Let's have a go. Cheers. Straight away, there is nothing wrong with that. That is a nice pint. I have had a lot worse in a lot of pubs. I really have. If aesthetically you prefer the look of the Sub Compact and you're thinking, I ain't gonna fire through a 6 litre keg, I just want to have a dibble dabble, you know, now and again with the odd pint here and there, that's not a bad choice. Especially if you have a look on the site, on the BeerWulf website, and you see some beers that you like. That is not a bad choice. Just after that first taste, just then, I'm thinking, I'm happy that, you know, Moretti's on there. I quite like a Moretti, yeah. Newcastle Brown's on there. Now, that's an interesting one. I remember some bad days, dark days on Newcastle Brown. Terrible for the gut in the morning. Really was. But back then, and I'm talking probably, you know, 20 years ago. Yeah, I think it tasted a bit better back then, out of the bottles. Never ever had it out of draft. Obviously, it was just always a bottle thing. So, be interesting to see what that's like on there, because the taste of that has definitely changed over the years. But what's it like out of a little keg like that, out of a little torp? This is nice. It's hard to compare with a left blonde, just simply because that's got that left quality to it. Now, a Pelforth, if you got that in a pub, it's not a cheap pint by any means. I mean, it's not a £2.50 pint, that's for certain. You're definitely, depending on where you are in the country, you're definitely getting, you know, £4 out, definitely, without a shadow of a doubt. And you're always reliant on that pub then, you know, being good at clearing the old pipes and all stuff like that. So where you are in the barrel. Whereas this, you know, it's a nice, fresh, clean pipe. It's in there, you know what's happened to it, you know how long it's been in there. That is a crisp, nice tasting pint. Definitely. Good carbonation levels, absolute belter. I mean that's carbonated. Keeping its head nicely, nice clingage to the glass. Yeah, it's got that blonde taste to it. It has. Good. crisp, nice mouthfeel, good beer. So it looks like your cheapest kind of torp on there is Strongbow, your standard, and that's $8.49. A lot of the beers are $8.99, fair enough. It can go up to £19, so you know, for 2 litres that is a fair whack. But you are going to take your time over a Delirium, simple as that, and just having it out of one of those glasses would be worthwhile. So, ratings. For that Pelforth, I tell you, for that, I'm going to give that an 8. I think I'm very happy with the fact that that machine there does decent pints. That's good. I'm happy with it. So that gets an 8 from me. The Sub Compact, now I didn't ever grade the PerfectDraft. Never graded it, never gave it an out of 10. I just said it's a belter. I'm happy with it, and then went on to review many a keg. Have a look over my back catalogue because I've gone through many a keg now, which is another part of the reason why I bought this, because it opens up that next new selection of stuff to do. I'm running out of kegs on that. If I was to grade that, it's not the machine's fault if an odd keg is out of stock. Yeah, that's not the machine's fault. As far as that machine is concerned, it's an absolute belter. It gets a 9 out of 10 if I was grading the PerfectDraft. The only reason I'm knocking a point off is it could do with a temperature control. So if they bang that on the next model, they have got the perfect machine. Simple as. And the range of beers on that is fantastic. You know, your IPAs that are on it, your Tiny Rebel Brewery that's on it is an absolute gem. I mean, a lot of people say about, you know, is Brewdog ever coming to it and things like that. But honestly, Tiny Rebel are a hell of a brewery. Left, you know, the Left range on there, if you like Left, it's just the machine for you. It simply is. Simple as that. It's got some belters. Crew Republic Drunken Sailor, Goose IPA. I could name a lot more. Can't knock it. 9 out of 10. The Sub Compact. Now, if you are someone that's obviously going to drink a bit less, you only want to dabble with it now and again, you've got less room, things like that, that can change the score. It can change the score and the suitability of the machine. Now, obviously, that's not got a temperature control either, so you can't say it's better for that reason or anything like that. The feel of it isn't quite up to the standard of the PerfectDraft, but yet it's good, very good. I don't think you can knock it. It's a very good machine, and the range of beers, just looking over them there, is interesting. It is. There's a lot of those I want to get stuck into. In fact, it's got a cider or two on there. Happy with that. It's only Strongbow, but I like dark fruits. I will go in. So, what I'm saying for that, I'm going to give that a 7.5. I'm going to give it an 8. I'm giving it a 7.5. And it is simply because of obviously the size of the torps. I think you will be changing them quite often. If you got the sub cold, if that's doing you absolutely fine, and you know you're pulling them out of there and it goes in and it's green virtually straight away, that might not be a problem. You know, your variety then may not be an issue, and for that reason, that might bring it up to an 8 if you've got that kind of companion. But I don't know how long it actually took to get down to temperature. I thought it would get down there quicker, but it's very quiet. You know, I can hear the PerfectDraft over the Sub Compact, definitely. The torps, yeah, they're smaller. You know, the plasticky doesn't feel quite like you're a pub landlord. You know, changing it over, but it's a nice feeling machine. It's a good quality machine. Some good beers on there. Yeah, I'm not comparing the two. I am not going to say get this over that or this is far better than that and things like that, because I think this will give you a nice fast selection and an alternative selection. This gives you some belters and it feels absolutely top notch. So I think there could be brothers in arms. You know, this is not Sega versus Nintendo. It ain't. We're past that, people. We're past that. What this is two beer machines living in harmony. Happy days. So to that, I'm going to say, I think I've done alright. I'm going to say though, people, have a belter of a weekend. Hope that helps some people. If it did, good. If it didn't, but there we go. I'll hopefully be trying this little baby out soon. So if someone wants to send me some Surgery cans so I can, then that'd be my guest. But anyway, if you like that video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe. I will be doing some reviews of some talks coming up. There's still many a Perfect Draft keg that I will be reviewing as well, people. But for now, have a belter of a weekend. Enjoy the sun when it shines. Enjoy the beer when it flows. For now, people, cheers. Have a good one. Cheers.